Hello and welcome to Eyes on Coach. My name is DJ Montalbano. I'm super excited for you guys to be here to listen to my first episode of this podcast, which is really a reboot of the podcast. I've done a few episodes before, but this is really the first one in my mind because one of the important things that I need to basically share is my why, right? So I'm really excited for you guys to be here because this episode is really just something I wanted to do to share just a little bit about me and why this is so important for me. This episode really is intended to be kind of brief and short, but I think the important thing for me is that as a person who is super excited about the sport of soccer and football around the world, is literally the most popular sport in the world. Certainly for me is very exciting on all levels. I love to see all the way from the grassroots, not only in the United States, but the youth soccer landscape around the world, all the way through to the biggest stages, the World Cup, national tournaments around the world with the Olympic tournament, etc. So to see this sport in various forms around the world is something I'm super passionate about. I grew up playing soccer on Long Island in New York, which is now part of the New York State East Soccer Association, which is basically, a very large area in the eastern half of New York State, including New York City and Long Island. And I come from a high school that was very, very much interested in doing soccer and sports in general the right way. The youth club that I was part of was something that was so influential for me. I ended up staying with that club throughout my entire youth career, and I was so fortunate in my life to have had what I consider world-class grassroots coaches. And I even was fortunate enough to run into and spend some time with some really world-class players and coaches. Not intending to drop names or anything like that, but there were some people that you have definitely heard of, and I'm super fortunate to have had the experience growing up and learning the game with them. So for me to turn around as I grow older, to begin coaching through my own kids and my own, community, to see the way these players develop from a very young age, having been through what I've, experienced in my life, is it's important for me to see them do it the right way and to continue to try to be the best coach that I could possibly be, based on my experiences. Now, I don't pretend to know everything, right? I think in general, youth soccer really has an issue with arrogance, and youth sports in general, and it's something for me that I'm pretty passionate about is, bringing a level of development for youth players that includes not only the sport, but raising them as good people, being part of a community that puts their trust in the coach to develop them as if they were their own children, and to really teach them how to be good people. And certainly the home is the place for it, I believe, but on the soccer field, the coaches are an extension of that in many, many ways. So, it's important for me to develop relationships with the families that we're dealing with, and it's not about me, right? It's about the development of these players and these people, and basically taking care of each other. So a lot of clubs around, especially in the United States, I see that they're doing that very well. I happen to come from one that did do that very well. But I also see coaches around the country and even around the world struggling in a lot of ways, because I feel like, the idea of developing, to advance the players and, give them the chance to win at all costs, or to run these clubs that are more about making money and, the development and what happens to the majority of their players is a second thought, So it's a challenging environment to be coaching in these days, and it all comes down to who you are dealing with, and who are you coaching with, and who are you coaching for, and the experiences that you develop, tend to be a result of, that environment that you are placed in or you're part of. Most times it's to no fault of the coaches that they basically start from nothing and learn to coach in those environments, and it's a struggle. And I think, for me, I really try to be here to share what I know, what I've learned, what I can to help coaches. Not saying my way is the right way or the best way, or that I come from the best. And I know that many people that I have met and that I deal with across the multiple social media channels and places that I am lucky to interact with other soccer people throughout the world, there are way more people that are way better at this than I am. But I have learned for sure that being humble and being respectful of others, working together with other coaches and developing any kind of knowledge sharing that we can, I think there is so much good that can happen for the youth of this world and the sport as we love it, that it's so worth it for me. So that's my why, right? That's basically why I'm here doing this, not only with this podcast, but with my YouTube channel and my X profile and my posts on various social media platforms. And I do hope you go check them out and follow me. That would be super appreciated. But I'm looking forward to sharing what I can. And if you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts or even objections, reach out to me. I'm super excited to open conversations with people, and I'm more than grateful to learn from you if you know something that I might not. So that's it for today. Nice and short, but thanks so much for joining today, and I hope to hear you on the next episode. Take care.